Welcome to another episode about the E92 M3, which you can see behind me. So in this video, we're going to use this as essentially a bit of an explanation of both another chapter about the car, but also an explanation of one of our products, which is S65 and S85 throttle actuators. So these are a known issue which this car is suffering with, where it keeps dropping into limp mode. Seems to randomly do it worse when the engine's warm, but you'll fire it up, it'll be in limp mode and it'll be gutless and not very happy with you, which a lot of cars have been done now, but there's still a lot out there that haven't been done, this obviously being one of them. So some of them last, say, 30,000 miles, this one's lasted 90,000 miles, but today's the day we get it sorted. So our solution for this is a throttle actuator. There's two on this car, so you replace them in pairs. But ours have been rebuilt with new gears, revised electronics, and they then have a lifetime warranty. Obviously, the more mileage, the more likely it is to happen. This car's on 90,000 miles, which is quite a bit of mileage to not have had a set of actuators already. But this is what they look like. There's two of them, so there's one per bank of throttle bodies. And essentially, this is an electric motor, some gears, and then that actuates this shaft, which then pulls a rod and opens the throttle bodies. Obviously, there's a little bit more to it, just in terms of how it works to be really nice and precise with your foot on the throttle, but really they're quite simple. And the main problem with them is that you do have this pair of gears here, and they are plastic. So basically they wear, and then that means you get a play in them. And basically that means you get almost like a lag when the motor starts turning to, for it to then actually open the throttle. There's play in it and there's lag, and that's what starts throwing fault codes. There's also a couple of little electronic issues that these can have. So our units have the electrical units or the electrical issues fixed. They have metal gears. Once they're fitted, essentially we warranty that they won't go wrong. If they do, we'll replace them, but we haven't had a single set of warranty repairs, and we've probably sold, I'm going to say 150 actuators, something like that. So yeah, kind of frustrating. This car hasn't been driven much at all over winter. I don't really like driving on the salty roads, but every time I have driven it on a warmer day or a non-salty day, it's been throwing up limp mode and all sorts. And yeah, very frustrating when we've got the parts upstairs in stock, but due to the workshop move and everything else we've had going on, I haven't had a chance to fix it. That workshop move is also why we're kind of in a bit of a corner. The workshop over to my right is still a work in progress, and we've got a couple of cars in there which you'll probably see more about soon. The workshop's not open, this is just a couple of special projects including the 140. So without further ado, we'll crack on. The actuator's sat right in the V of the engine, so there's quite a lot to remove, but in terms of complexity they're actually a relatively simple replacement job. We're not going to be filming this as a DIY, but we will kind of just show you exactly what's involved without going into any mad detail, and then hopefully afterwards we can show you a nice clean sheet without any fault codes, unlike the current one. So it hasn't really taken me very long, as you might have seen, just to essentially get the airbox off, and then the only other thing you really need to do to get to these actuators is lift the engine wiring loom out of the way. It's not really perfect, in an ideal world you take the whole loom off so you got ideal access, but in the interest of actually doing this job in a timely manner, you can just lift it out of the way, disconnect everything on the front, pull it up. There's 4 little M6 studs that the whole loom kind of holder sits on. Do be careful with the back ones. I've seen them quite a few times where if you yank on them at all, it pulls them out and they basically then drop down, and then you've got nothing to attach the loom to. So just treat it with a bit of care, but there's nothing difficult about that. And here's one of the old actuators. There's 3 TX30 bolts that hold these down to the block. Visually, can't see anything wrong with them, and it's difficult to perhaps show on camera, but you can hear that there's quite a bit of gear slop. I don't know if you can hear that. There's quite a bit of gear slop in there, which is something you can feel more than necessarily hear or see. But you know, that's essentially the main core of the issue with these, is those gears wearing out. So these will go off and be rebuilt and put onto our shelves as exchange units. We tend to keep 2 or 3 pairs on the shelf at all times, depending on how quick the customers get theirs back to us, so that you don't have to send yours off and wait. We can send you a pair, you fit them, you send your old ones back, nice and easy. So these will go back to our shop department next door. I'll crack on with fitting the new ones. So bolt those in with the 3 bolts, 10 Nm on those bolts, and then plug all the wiring in, make sure I obviously connect the rods up for these, and then we should be good to go. We're just getting the airbox back on. There's a couple of other jobs we're going to be doing at the same time, so this may seem slightly patchy as I put it back together, but this first main bit will be nice and easy and you'll be able to see the whole thing. So I've just finished putting everything back together. Everything's fairly straightforward. As I mentioned before, you do have to lift the loom assembly off the engine, so it's just a case of going through it methodically. Make sure you plug everything back in, clip all the wires back into where they should be, put it all back together. So yeah, airbox is then back on top. Everything is nicely put together. So all that's left now is to hit the button. Before I do that, we'd like you to hit a button if possible, so please like and subscribe. We're really hoping to do more with our YouTube channel this year in terms of interesting content about products, projects, you name it. So yeah, please take the time to let us know what you like seeing, what you don't like seeing, and we will action it. Right, time to hit the button.